My mom and dad decided where I go to school and how I get
It's
there.
that beautiful
But I know where I wanna be at Storefront Academy. It has heart, it has soul, and I wanna learn, I wanna grow. I'm starting out my history at Storefront Academy. Sign 'em up, yeah, yeah.
Sign 'em up, sign 'em up. Yeah, yeah. Sign 'em up, sign 'em up.
Sign 'em up, sign 'em up, sign 'em up, yeah,
I'm
yeah.
ready to sign up. Let's see the school. Let's go. Hey guys, it's Maria from Scola. And we're here at Storefront Academy Charter School in Harlem. Let's check it out. Today we are here with Miss Chesney, principal of Storefront Academy Charter Schools. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for coming out on this foggy day in Harlem.
Yes, it's beautiful out. I love it. I wanted to start by asking you, what is the mission here at Storefront?
Our mission here at Storefront Academy Charter Schools is to meet every child where they are. Our goal is to empower them with the tools that they're going to need to navigate through life, academically, social, emotionally, and just really to equip them to be critical thinkers, as well as just good, kind human beings that are really going to make a change in our world.
Definitely, I think that's very important, just equipping students for making a change in their communities and in the world and for a bright future.
Absolutely, but we can't just stop at the children, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our families are an integral part in our whole school community, so I think it is important for that homeschool connection to be intentional. So we are really also about not just empowering our scholars, right? Because once we empower them, it kind of could stop there.
Well, and speaking about the importance of family involvement, can you tell me more about the school community and about the location?
It would be my absolute pleasure to tell you about our school community. We're a growth mindset community, heavily focused in social emotional learning in terms of just how we interact with each other. Every school has core values, but here at our Harlem campus, we really embody our core values. And it's not just the teachers, and it's from any staff member, from our janitors to our lunch ladies, up to our classroom teachers, our specialists, our operations staff, the academic team. Everybody really embodies the core values, and we live it every day. And when we're speaking to our scholars, you can hear it in the way that we communicate with them, right? No better way to teach someone than to model what it looks like, what it sounds like, and what it feels like when you have a growth mindset community that are really truly here to empower student voice and to really nurture each individual child based on what they need.
Definitely, every student is unique, as you said, and they have different needs. So working on that and empowering them for their future, but also for their present, and for them to be involved in their community and also be active members here at the school, I think it's very important.
I also agree, but when you just talk about to be active community members, it kind of takes me back to actually the start of this actual campus here in Harlem. This building that we're in right now is really a historic piece of Harlem here in East Harlem. Over 50 years ago, a gentleman named Ned O'Gorman, who was a poet, brought literature to his community. And that turned into a private institution that then in turn turned into us as a charter school. So we have been servicing children here in East Harlem for over 50 years. What I like to say about the change with the charter school is we do it with a little twist, right? We have some different resources that we can utilize to support scholars that private institutions couldn't. So we really are excited about just bringing more intentionality, love, caring, and nurturing to this East Harlem community.
It's a very unique story, and the history of the school is fascinating. Also, the building from the outside, as we walked in, it was so pretty. We're like, this is so New York. Like, it feels very, very true to the city.
I love it because we're on this small, private, quiet block right here on 70 East, 129th Street, between Park and Madison. We have access right, you know, if you look across the street, you can see the Metro North train running. You know, the 4 and the 5 train are right down on 125th. So it's a really short walk, easy, accessible, and just really embodiment of educators who are truly vested in nurturing the whole child, not just the academic part of the child, but that social emotional piece, and then just extending it into the families, because we know when the families are empowered, it helps the scholars to keep their power and then to ultimately share it out.
Definitely, it's a teamwork in
Absolutely.
the school, at home, just to build these strong, intelligent, and also good citizens.
Yeah, like great human beings.
Exactly.
Good human beings who are looking forward to just sharing their light with the world, right? That's what I feel like we need a little bit more in our world.
Definitely, I agree on that. We are here with Callie J. She is a second grade student. Callie, what is your favorite subject?
My favorite subject is math because I like to learn math a lot, and it makes me learn. And whenever I don't know something, I could just remember the first number in my head and then add the second number.
That's an amazing technique. I like it. What else do you like to do here at school?
I like to write, and because it makes my hand get used of the writing and makes it feel better.
Feel strong that you can continue writing. Do you write stories? What do you like to write? Poems?
I like to write poems and stories.
That's amazing. And what do you want to be when you grow up?
I want to be a pediatrician.
That's really good. So you can help other children feel good, be strong, and keep learning many things, right?
Yes.
That's amazing. I'm sure you will be the best pediatrician.
Thank you.
Well, so far you've mentioned many things that make the school special and unique, but can you tell me 3 things that you can highlight from the school?
Absolutely, it would be a great pleasure. The first thing that I would like to highlight is our social emotional learning program. I've noticed that since our pandemic has hit, a lot of people in schools are now really investing in that social emotional learning and how to deal with those type of traumas, or even just how to help scholars really identify strategies to help them to be able to self-regulate. Here at Storefront Academy Charter Schools, I've been here for 6 years, and when I came here, the emphasis on social emotional learning was just as equal as the academics. What I love about our school is that we understand fundamentally that if children aren't able to identify how they feel and then take those feelings and then have strategies to kind of de-escalate or self-regulate, then learning can never happen. So social emotional learning is big. Like I stated earlier, it's infused in our school culture. From the time you enter our building, in every area of our school that you visit, an adult is going to be mindful of how they communicate. But our scholars also have an opportunity to extend that learning into a SEL class, social emotional learning class, on a weekly basis, where they will engage with our counselor on, it could be something from core values. Any one of our core values are learning about respect, responsibility, diligence, concern for others, honesty. Or if we notice that there's something that's happening in this campus that we need to address, then we could take those teachable moments as well and really empower our students with strategies on how we can navigate through those natural things that are happening in our lives or in our community at the time.
That's fantastic. I think that those weekly check-ins are very important for the students and also for the staff to know what's happening and how to better support each and every one of them. And what would you say would be the second thing?
The second is, of course, our rigorous curriculum. Of course, we have data planned lessons that really kind of hone in on that content knowledge and things of that nature, the critical thinking skills, as well as what is really the point of being able to think critically if you can't use those skills or strategies to kind of navigate and problem solve. So we are really big in empowering student voice here. So where we put the heavy lift on the scholars, and our teachers kind of transform into more facilitators, right? So they're really pushed for that, that deeper thinking, and also challenging each other. We call it verbal sparring here, where we can challenge each other's thoughts, right? It's really important for us all to have our thoughts, but it's also important to understand why people think differently than us. So here in our school, our scholars, we have our agree sign and our disagree. So they have to look around the classroom and they have to find that one scholar in the class that disagrees with them. And then it's their responsibility to turn to that scholar and say to them, so, and by your name, why is it that you disagree with me? I would really like to understand why, right? Because that's life. And life, real life, right? Because what is education if you're not teaching children how to use these things in the real world? And that comes, and that's a very important piece. Like when we understand why people think differently than us, then it puts us in a position where we can think a little broader. So it's really about scholar voice and empowering students to feel comfortable and confident to show what they know.
So we just had the opportunity to see the beautiful backyard that you guys have. Can you tell me more about the events that you host there?
Oh, absolutely. So our backyard is like this hidden gem right here in Harlem. Our scholars have the opportunity to have recess every day in our backyard, of course, weather permitting, for 30 minutes. Our physical education teacher takes our scholars out into the backyard. They have obstacle courses, anything PE related we are doing in the backyard. We also have a lot of incentives at our school. We're really big on incentivizing just scholar success here. So scholars might have the opportunity to go out into the backyard and have yoga time with myself, martial arts, and something that they're really interested in now is learning how to step. So we'll have those type of incentives out in the backyard, as well as hosting parent events. We've had movie nights out there. We've invited some community partners to come out and just hosted special events. I'm really excited about November. We're going to have our very first Harvest Fest in our backyard, where our scholars will have the opportunity to pick pumpkins right here in our backyard in our sweet little secret spot.
That is amazing. Not many schools have that, and I think that's very, very unique, not just for the students, but for their entire families.
Absolutely, because as we said before, it's about the whole unit. So yes, I feel really blessed to be able to have this space in the backyard for our scholars. We live in New York. We know that this type of space is really obsolete to a lot of scholars. They have to walk a couple of blocks to go to the playground. We can just go right out between our double doors and then just enter our own oasis. So yes.
And finding creative ways to teach students, it's very important, just like using the garden or any other of these beautiful rooms that you guys have. What is the teaching and learning style here?
Well, what I love about Storefront, it's really focused on meeting scholars where they are, right? So we have, project-based learning happening in our school, but we also understand fundamentally that teaching style has to be reflective of student learning styles. So there are some student learners who are those visuals. So we have Promethean boards in every classroom with interactive games or activities that are happening. We also have a program that we're using this year called Exact Path, right? Prior to the pandemic, if we're really talking honestly, there was a substantial learning loss. But through this global pandemic, it has been more of a noticeable learning loss, and we've been charged with mitigating that learning loss. So Exact Path is a program that meets each child where they are, and it scaffolds and builds upon those skills that they need in order to be grade level ready. So in our visuals, our auditory learners, all of the systems that we have in place are to reach them where they are. But what's most important before any of these resources to support the learning, you have to have a nurturing and caring teacher who is really intentional about delivering information or instruction to give children what they need and meeting them right where they are.
And finally, where can people find more information about the school?
They can visit us on our official website, storefrontacademycs.org. You can also find us on most of the social media platforms, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And you can also find more information about the school on Scola. Well, thank you so much for having us today.
It was an absolute pleasure.
Well, and I will see you all at the next school. Bye. And that's a wrap at Storefront Academy Charter School here in Harlem, and I will see you at the next school.